In each family, a story is playing out, and each family story embodies its hope and despair. This was a quotation by August Napier about family relations. A family is a basic social unit that consists of a parent and their offspring. It is a crib or haven that every single child should have in order to progress in the modern world. A family is encouraged to provide love, trust, safety, and intimacy to their child. Almost all of us have a different perception of our own family. It differs in every individual. One person might view a thing similarly, but also another might view it differently. Child abuse is a kind of maltreatment that was inflicted by a parent or the primary caregiver that causes harm to the child. It can take in several forms: the physical, the psychological, the sexual, and neglect. This study surfaced the perception of a child towards their own family, and this is the visual impression of family and family relationships from the artwork of Filipino children.
For me, the definition of a family, it is the smallest unit of society. So, a family is composed of a parent, a father, mother, and also children. They are also called as an extended family, which is composed of other relatives and also the parents and the offspring. One of the greatest effect, some of the children that grew with his or her family will be guided. Some of them can be successful enough, and also they can also be a good citizen of this nation. Is maltreatment of children. For me, children is defined as 21 with the age of 21 below, and even though that they are 21 above, but they are not capable of caring themselves, and they are being having maltreatment in different aspects of their life, like physical, psychological, and then sexual, or even other social life. So foremost, one of the greatest effect is depression. Second, rejection, and also third, the effect is more on their emotional aspect. That concerns with their social life, the rejection that they feel with other people because of the experiences that they have. So these abuses are being also carried over to their future.
According to the Child Protection in the Philippines, majority of the type of abuse that was experienced by the children were categorized as sexual abuse with a percentage of 77%. The remaining percentage comprises of physical abuse and sexual abuse, physical abuse, and neglect. And according to the statistics, majority of the victims of child abuse were categorized as females. This study aimed to determine the concept of family as perceived by an abused child and a child who has not experienced any form of abuse. Specifically, this study seeks to answer to the following questions. What doodles represent the perception of the key informants on their parents, their father and mother, their siblings, and their relationship to the family as a whole? And what thematic interpretation can be wheeled from the doodles of the participants? The researchers utilized qualitative phenomenological design with a combination of sketch analysis as a design for the study. It suited the study because the researchers tend to know the child's experiences and perceptions with his or her own family through doodling activity. The researcher study was composed of two groups of school-aged participants, the school-based and the institutionalized participants. 15 participants came from an elementary school in a rural area in the Philippines, and the other 15 participants came from Nayan ng Kabataan, which is under the supervision of the SWD in Mandaluyong City. The study comprises of 19 male participants and 11 female participants. The participants were asked by the researchers to doodle or draw their perception towards their own family. Short, quick responses were gathered from the participants in regards to the question, "Ano ang ibig sabihin ng drawing mo?" These responses helped the researcher to further understand the participants' doodles. Hence, the researchers came up with the two major themes, namely, the delectable perception and the wicked perception. These two major themes were further categorized into four: the paternal concept, the maternal concept, sibling concept, and the familial concept. Furthermore, these four categories were divided into different minor themes. The theme delectable perception refers to the doodles referring to the children's positive perception about their own family. As said earlier, this theme is further divided into four categories. The participants viewed their father in so many different ways. This study emerged the different positive minor themes, namely, father as provider, as a source of support, as a source of love, as a good model, as a friend, and as a disciplinarian.
Masipag po siya at matyaga dahil po tinutulungan niya si mama para po mapaaral.
Ibig sabihin nito.
Si tatay, namimitwit si tatay.
Namimigit.
Aha.
Tapos,
Tapos po, masaya po kami pumunta sa bahay. Pangarap po naman po ni tatay maging piloto po.
Majority of the responses and doodles in both institutionalized and school-based participants illustrate the father as a primary provider, which is the one who works for the family. Two responses from the school-based participant says that the father should act as a source of support for them. In times of trials or hardships, the researchers believe that a father should always be at the back of his or her child for them to be having a feeling of safety and security. A response from a school-based participant tells that a father should act as a disciplinarian in the family. The participants viewed their mother in so many different ways. This study emerged the different minor themes, namely, mother as provider, as a source of love, as a good model, as a friend, as a disciplinarian, as the head of the household, and as a primary caregiver.
Kumukuha po kami ng dahon ng gabi para po makakain kami po ng biko. Sa dagat po kami.
tapos,
Sinusubuan po ako ni mama ng manok. Sinusuba po.
Almost all of the responses and doodles from the school-based children illustrate the mother as the head of the household. Being a housewife is a very hard job, employed full-time, working 24 hours in a day and 7 days a week. A mother takes all the responsibility inside the house. Aside from making a family comfortable, a mother should meet the needs of her family by taking care of them. The responses from the school-based and institutionalized children also prove that the mother is the member of the family that the participants can feel the love most. A response from an institutionalized participant tells that a mother should act as a disciplinarian for the family. The participants viewed their sibling in so many different ways. This study emerged the different minor themes, namely,
Sibling as a source of support, as a source of love, as a good model, as a friend, and as a source of happiness.
Tinutulungan po ako ng kapatid ko po maghugas ng pinggan. Magkakasama po kami, wala po kaming away. Kaya po kami magkakadikit.
The doodles and responses about the school-based and institutionalized participant siblings elicit a good and positive illustration. The institutionalized and school-based participant siblings were the source of happiness and love in the family. Sibling may not show their affection to their brothers and sisters, but even though they don't show it up, the love of a sibling is felt simply by a simple unconscious action. A simple touch and a simple word from a sibling is a big factor of happiness, love, and care. Their siblings also act as a friend to both group of participants. A sibling is a primary friend and the one that a sibling can count on in most of the time. The participants view their family in so many different ways. This study emerged the different minor themes, namely, family as a source of love, as a source of happiness, as a support system, and family being spiritually oriented.
Pamilya po, yan po. Kalalabas lang po nila sa simbahan. Kasi po ano po sila, nananalig po sila sa Diyos. At saka kaya po nagtutulungan silang lahat para po umunlad po yung pamilya nila. Masaya kami lahat. Nagbalikan po ulit sila.
The participants' doodles about their family show that a family should stay together and should have each other at all times. The responses from the both group of participants tell that their family was the source of their happiness and love. The doodles and responses from the three school-based participants also tell that their family acts as a support system for them. It is nice to know that the response from a school-based participant recognized that a family should have and must have a faith in God. The theme wicked perception refers to the doodles referring to the children's negative perception about their own family. As said earlier, this theme is further divided into three categories: the paternal concept, the maternal concept, and the sibling concept.
Kasi dati, nag-iossi siya. Pero yung tumagal na, nagkagulo yung pamilya namin. Pinigilan niya na.
The institutionalized participants view their own father and mother as a bad example that shows qualities that should not be imitated by the children. A school-based participant viewed her own sibling as a member of a family in which they were not compatible with. The participants reveal thoughts about themselves and their perception about their own family. The perception of the child towards their family was elicited via doodle, written explanation, and verbal explanation. In the simulacrum, the sun symbolizes the delectable perception, which represents the positive perception of the participants, and the cloud symbolizes the wicked perception, which represents the negative perception of the participants. Even though the participants of the study, whether school-based or institutionalized, have a negative perception towards a family member, the participants would still like to see or still hoping to have a harmonious relationship to their own family.
A child's mind and heart is very pure and very fragile. It should be carefully taken care of to preserve its purity and cleanliness. We should always bear in mind what has Dr. Rosario Salas said na ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. We need to make sure that these children would always have happy thoughts and moments in their everyday lives for them to be more likely succeed in their later years in life. And we should always remember that every little child deserves to smile.
Mga batang walang masandalan.
Bantay bata.
Ma'am, binubugbog po ako.
Sino nagbugbog sa'yo?
Itay ko po.
Ano ang pangalan mo?
Ronaldo po.
Anong ginagamit nila?
Isang sinturon po.
Bata, saan ka ngayon?
Nagtatago po.
Lagi ka ba binubugbog?
Opo, tuwing gabi po.
Tulungan niyo po ako. Parang awa nila.
Buto't balat na lang ng aking tignan, lugmok sa karamdaman. Sikmura'y kumakalam. Kailangan ba nilang sapitin ang paghihirap, maraming di nakakapansin? Kayang-kaya